However, if you were sad that you weren't going to hear Dr. Jim speak, don't be. Because, as Joel said, we needed a test speaker for our evaluators, and we have been lucky enough to have Dr. Anderson come in and speak to us. So let me give you a little briefing about what he's going to talk about. Dr. Anderson has been interested in the power of seduction since it was first successfully used on him. He's been involved in a committed relationship for over 25 years, and in order to make that relationship last for that long, he and his life partner have rediscovered each other many times over. That discovery process has been a real eye-opener for him as he learned all sorts of things that he had never even known to ask about. The purpose of Dr. Anderson's speech today is going to be to try to share a little bit of what he knows about building relationships and strengthening bonds in the existing relationships in order to help you repair, restore, and revitalize your relationship. Dr. Jim Anderson, using seduction to repair, restore, and revitalize your relationship. Dr. Jim Anderson.
So, welcome Toastmasters, valued guests. I have a question for you. Who among you is currently involved in a relationship? It can be boyfriend, it can be girlfriend, it can be fiance, it can be husband, it can be wife. Show of hands? All right, most of you are. Okay, that's very good stuff. So, if you were to walk into a bookstore today, you would find an immense collection of books that purport to teach you how to meet members of the opposite sex, which is great. But you'd find a very small number of books that tell you actually how to manage a relationship, how to grow a relationship when you actually have one. That's a little bit of a challenge, right? Because we have this relationship that we're involved in, and it's okay. But we would like it to be better. We would like our partner to have the same level of excitement that they had when we were starting the relationship. Okay? What we'd like to do is have our partner once again get interested in us. And I've got some good news for you. This is possible to do. What's even better? I'm going to tell you how to do it. But first, I want to start out with what I like to call the Al Gore problem. I don't know if you know this or not, but Al Gore was the Vice President of the United States a while back. Al Gore recently announced that he was going to get divorced after 40 years of marriage. Oh my gosh. If we don't want what happened to Al Gore to happen to us, we've got to take action in our own relationship. So how are we going to make our relationship better? How are we going to save our relationship? You know, it all comes down to one word, and that word begins with an S. And no, it's not that word. I'm talking about seduction. Seduction. We're all familiar with that. What does seduction actually mean? Well, if you look it up in a dictionary, seduction says to charm or to attract. Well, what's going on in your relationship? How about this? How about your partner has fallen asleep? Life has become routine. You have become boring. So what are you going to do about this? Well, the way I see it, you've got three options. Number one, you can have an affair. Number two, you can leave the relationship. And number three, perhaps saddest of all, you can suffer in silence. Okay, I don't think any of those are good options. I'm going to propose a fourth option. I'm going to propose that you use seduction to wake your partner up. Okay, well, that sounds sort of interesting. How do we actually go about doing that? We need to understand something about seduction. Seduction is a mental thing, okay? What you want to do is you want to attract your partner, and then you want to capture their mind, okay? So this all sounds like good stuff. You've got 5 senses. You can see, you can hear, you can smell, you can taste, and you can touch. And those are the 5 senses that you'll use to seduce your partner. Easiest one to use, of course, is vision. Today, you have a way of dressing, and your partner's used to that, right? So if you change the way that you dress, your partner is going to detect that something's different. Something has changed. You will have captured their attention. So I propose that tonight you go home and you tell your partner, hey, let's go out to dinner. Fantastic. They're going to say yes, right? But then you dress up for dinner. They're going to spend that meal going, wow, something's changed. I'm not quite sure what, but something has changed, definitely. You've got 5 senses. Another sense that you have is your sense of smell. So right now you have a scent. It might be soap, it might be deodorant, it doesn't really matter what it is. If you change your scent, your partner's going to pick up on this. It's subtle, but they're going to know that something is different. And that's the key to seduction. Because seduction is all about realizing that what we want most in this world is what we cannot have. So what that means from a seducer's point of view is that we need to make sure that in our relationship we introduce some tension. We want to build anxiety. We want to build a lot of different emotions that well up in our partner so that they want us, so that they desire us. If you think about it for a moment, the relationship that you're currently invested in is probably the most important thing that you have in your life right now. Okay? The one thing, considering how much time, energy, and effort you've put into that relationship, the one thing we wouldn't want to do is just throw it away. If the relationship that you're in today failed, then all of a sudden you'd be back at square one. You'd be starting all over in this courting thing, and nobody wants to do that. So what does a good relationship look like? Well, you know what a good relationship looks like because you remember how your relationship was in the beginning. Okay? In the beginning, you thought about your partner all the time. In the beginning, you gave your partner gifts. In the beginning, you anticipated the next time you could be with your partner. And those were good things. And now you have a relationship that isn't quite as good. But you'd like to make it as good as it was in the beginning. You just don't know how. And this is the perfect time for seduction to step in. You need to use seduction to wake up your partner. Okay? It's not easy. It's going to be a lot of effort on your part. But if you do it correctly, if you use your seduction skills correctly, your partner is going to come running to you. And you will have avoided the Al Gore problem. So give it a little bit of thought. Maybe add a little touch of seduction to your relationship and see where it takes you.
Dr. Jim Anderson.